Let's talk about the 9 to 5 scam. I'm not going to really say that it's a actual scam, but it's a setup that make you crash out. I'm gonna tell you something that I noticed within the years of just working. I noticed that this working hard thing, like when you say to yourself, I'm gonna work hard at this job, not work hard at life. Talk about for a job. When you work real hard, you think you will be rewarded. Well, we in times now where as though you think the reward is going to come and it never comes. What I have noticed is through my years of just working hard that you have to work forward towards a goal that's going to actually get you somewhere. Like if you're working for a house to get your next house, to get your car, to be able to get you out of debt, then that's something you're working towards. But when you think you're just working hard and you just going to get up the ladder, well, you got a lesson to learn. Lesson to learn is if you're not tied in or connected with anybody that's going to get you up that ladder, it's not going to happen in most cases. In most cases, you might be one of the lucky ones. But I've noticed, like even with me, I do a job where as though I have noticed that certain people end up graduating to a higher position, all because they used to kiki with the boss. And along with kikiing with the boss, sometimes you start to see certain things tend to happen. Certain things tend to move their direction when it comes to growth and advancement. And it's crazy because this is actually called the real world. This is how the real world works. It works with character and relationships. Not to say that it's fair, but at the same time, if a person is comfortable being around the next person that they're actually having a conversation with and they sitting up there lollygagging with, they're most likely going to promote them into a position because they're not afraid to be around them because they have a relationship with them, which is sometimes mostly a work relationship, but it's a relationship where they got each other back. So I want to say that for anybody out here that's looking at their jobs like, I've been here all these years, this ain't fair, I'm not getting promoted. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's not you. It's not you for a simple fact of you are not the reason that they are not going to give you the promotion. It's because you're not entwined with them and their groups. You know, people got their cliques. This is something that happens a lot. This is why when you see upper management do some of the foul things they do, or they do some of the or they have an outlook of how they want the company to move, normally everybody that's on board, normally all together, whether it be good or bad, everybody is on the same train. Even if one disagree, you will never know they disagree. That'll probably happen behind closed doors, but they'll follow suit. That's why a lot of times you also got to look at how you move out here. You got to be careful. You got to be cautious of how you talk about your jobs, because jobs pay attention. This is one of the reasons why I don't think it's smart today to badmouth your boss. For some odd reason, it then got popular for people to come online and talk about their job and say how much they hate it. I'm never going to talk about how much I hate my job. And I actually don't hate my job. But even if I did, I wouldn't come up here and talk like that. Another thing is, don't ever mention your boss. If you mention your boss that they're a foul person or I can't stand them, I want something to happen to them, well, guess what? It's going to get back to them. Somebody's going to see it. And you think that you're going to win. You think those views are going to get you to the point where as though you think people are going to be able to relate to you. Well, guess what? They're going to be able to relate to you. But what's going to happen is one of your teammates is at your job with you, that kiki, laugh with you, is going to be the one that's going to turn you in. Or they're going to say something. Somehow, in some way, it gets back to your boss from somebody that you know. And I remember it was a situation that happened at work one time. This dude, true story, this dude would not stop talking about how he caught a DUI. Now, mind you, he's not telling, like, how can I put it? He's telling certain people. Well, I'm going to say this. Out of certain people, it got back to somebody, and they decided to relay it to the boss. We kind of know who did it, but not sure, but we kind of know. Well, guess what will happen? Once they got wind of it and they found out, well, I'm not gonna say they found out. Once it got to them and they pulled them into the office, and next thing you know, they offed them. This is why you need to be a lot smarter and sharper of the things you talk about and the things that you do around your coworkers. So when you think that the 9-to-5 job is something to glorify, you don't disrespect your job. Your job is made for you to go to work, pay your bills, take on anything that you're trying to do in life to be able to get ahead, grow your money, build it up. These are the things that a job is for. This is why a lot of times they talk about like the retirement and everything. Retirement is retirement, but you got to be able to be somewhere and put enough money away to retirement. So we in times now where you got 1 or 2 jobs, and it's nothing wrong with that. But people are getting to a point where they starting to see that jobs are really not holding them down how they thought they was going to hold them down. Believe me, we are at the highest of layoffs today and firings. Like, when the last time you ever seen a job like the government getting rid of people like they are right now? Doesn't matter who you vote for. At the end of the day, the person that's in the house is in the house. Nothing to complain about now. Once the person is doing what they're doing, and you have to take it. Only thing is I can say is that a lot of people today that got real comfortable, real relaxed, and they take their jobs for granted. Because just remember, we were in a quitting stage at a time. Remember that? When a lot of people were quitting, it was quitting season. Remember? Pandemic, quitting season. A bunch of people quitting. Well, guess what? Those people that had quit, how many of them now started looking for jobs? How many people can find a job now? Jobs are to the point now, they like, yo, y'all did us a favor. And it was a time where jobs was looking at people as like, wait a minute, we need more people in this building. Until you started realizing that you have too many employees doing nothing. And that's what's happening now. Companies are cutting costs. The costs, them lowered. Not only lowered, they started being able to understand what was going on behind closed doors when you start looking at the revenue and whatever people were contributing to when they were working from home. So many things came into play with this. It's not a joke. It's not fake news that people are just losing their jobs just because they wasn't productive. When you look at some of these jobs, or should I say a lot of them, and people say that they're very productive, well, I beg to differ, because if you look at anything that goes on today, you see people out and about, shopping, buying lunch, going to restaurants when they're going to lunch. All these things have to do with one thing: going outside, spending money on gas to get to these places, and buying food, and also mingling. What we lost was people stopped doing that when they're home, especially if you're mostly home. You're basically just taking trips, which is not most likely contributing to the whole economy, because if you're taking a trip, a lot of times people were going to other countries. So you're not giving money to the area that you work in because you're working from home. So you're most likely going to be cooking at home, going to the shopping, going to the grocery store and you're buying your groceries. So it kind of changes the dynamics of everything. So when you look at the change of dynamics, how you look at how the economy is supposed to grow, it's not going to grow. It's not going to grow that way. That's why you've seen a lot of stores closing, because everybody is home and shopping from home. This is why Amazon is so big. Remember, Amazon became bigger than what it was during the pandemic, and then it did nothing but grow and made other stores close, because you can't compete. Anytime you can order something and they get there at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, depending on what you, if you under their subscription, like, come on. Like, some things you just can't compete with. And jobs are now looking at their books, and they reevaluating the way they look at everything, from the way they spend money to their employees. Hell, you know that there's a problem when you start to see a lot of people in certain positions that are certain hires that for some odd reason at a time when they felt like certain hires were not right. Now you're starting to see a lot of people catching cases now that were in higher positions that was embezzling money, falsifying on books, and transferring funds to other areas. I'm not going to start putting pictures up and showing names, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That's why I said the economy is now starting to restructure the way they operate. This is why the 9 to 5 has a different philosophy of how you looked at it before. The 9 to 5 is not the years ago 9 to 5. It's not the same. The odds of you staying at a job for 15, 20 years is very slim. And I'm going to tell you this. If you don't have a second income or something else happening in your life that can bring you more more income in, then I can't give you no advice, because it's obviously you don't have the mentality for the hustle mentality, and that's basically what this era is. It's a more so a hustle mentality. Boy, I don't know. You know when you talking sometimes you lose your train of thought when you're trying to speak. But you gotta find a way. And that way, everybody can't give you advice on that way. And the reason why they can't give you that advice is because whatever they do, you're not going to be able to do. I remember working 2 jobs. I did it twice. No, matter of fact, 3 times. And everybody's not built to do that. So if everybody's not built to do that, then everybody's not built to do it. That means it's going to be something that's going to make it and something that's not. So I wish you luck out here. And I'm going to just say this. Don't treat your 9 to 5 like you can just get something tomorrow. Think about it first and strategize before you move forward. All right? Good luck.